All right, so I'm live here with Amazon Bedrock, which is, according to AWS, the easiest way to build and scale generative AI applications with foundational models. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen here real quick and just get right into it. And what I'm going to play around with today is to see if I can get a really like a programmatic view into Bedrock here. So I have a shell here that might be part of the solution. And I guess what I would need to do is first get a Python virtual environment set up. That might be one of the easiest ways to get Bedrock working. So I'm going to say, Python 3. Okay, we have 376. And then if I say Python 3-m venv, does that work? Okay, it does work. So I'm going to put one inside of my directory here. And then next up, I'm going to tweak my bash RC so that I can actually get stuff cooking. So let's go here and let's just say bash RC, and we can just go to the bottom and we can just say, source venv. Kind of a bummer you have to do this in Python, but until they change the Python language, you have to do this weird stuff to even get it to work. Activate. There we go. Okay, so if we just go ahead and source this bash r source bash rc. There we go. So we have a virtual environment. Now, probably I want to pip install IPython so I can get a shell. And then we probably also want to try out Bedrock as well. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. So we have examples. Let's summarization, open. So we have view notebook examples, which is kind of interesting, which means that let's just try a simple one with Bodo 3 here. So it says, we probably want to do Bodo 3 first. So let's try that. So let's go here. Let's move this up. And let's just do pip install Bodo 3 as well. And this should get us cooking with something. I mean, I guess I could do this as well. Okay, so we have, in theory, an environment to play with. Okay, so that looks good. So now, what do we need to do here? So we need to play around with the Bedrock API. So I think something like this is probably what we want. And Bedrock. So let's see. So run synchronous example for each model. So let's try this out. Let's just say import Bedrock. Well, first IPython here, and then we say import Bedrock. Does that work? Uh-oh. No, no module named Bedrock. So what do we got in terms of the documentation here? We have Bodo 3. Depending on the environment, you might need some custom setup. Use a different role. What is from utils? Where's the utils here? What's inside of here? From utils, Bedrock. What is this? Helper utilities for Bedrock and notebooks. Well, that looks weird. in a lot of code that I don't want to necessarily run. So what I could do instead, so that example's not great. So I could look at the user guide here, and we could take a look at use API. And we know that I'm in the region, Oregon. And so next topic, API environment setup. So we prefer not to use Python, but I'll use it for now. Setting up the AWS SDK, you'll find it. So let's try this. List the base models. Oh, well, this isn't. Let's try this actually. I'm kind of curious about just using the CLI. This is kind of what we really want to actually. I'd rather explore it like this. Okay, this looks. It doesn't look like it shows up though, because we may need to upgrade the AWS CLI here. AWS CLI. So we need to look at the docs for upgrading AWS CLI. Let's go here and let's just say upgrade. Okay, how do we do this? So Linux, install update before, install this, but we probably want to do upgrade it in Cloud Shell. What is this? What is this link here? It says AWS version. Let's try that. And version 2. Okay, what is this? And we have curl, update the v2 on Linux. Let's double check here. Download it. Huh, okay, well, let's try this out. Let's see if this works. It looks hard to copy, but let's see if this actually copies. Okay. And then let's unzip it. So we'll say unzip the AWS CLI. Okay. And then okay, this looks like a good article here. Looks like it's reasonable. Let's try that out. Okay, now if we run it, what do we got? Do we have the latest version? Is this the same version? 2.213? I don't know what the version was before. But what I'm curious about is this, AWS Bedrock. Does this even work here? AWS Bedrock dash help. So that doesn't seem to be working. I'm curious though, if they tell me how to use the console, use the API, it would be nice if they told me how to actually get this, because I don't know. Although we could try this. Let's try this. Let's go back to Python. Maybe that was the issue, was I was just putting the commands in wrong. Okay, there we go. All right, so I got something working. Although I would be curious about how to get the CLI working. That would be great. But I do have something working. So what this means is that if we go here, I can actually start playing around with it. Now, what I would like to do is see if I can get a very basic something working. So what we could do next is I could just say touch list models.py, and we could just tweak it real quick to actually get some little scripts cooking. So I'll do this, set paste, and if we say Python list models, boom, we got something working. Wait. Oh, Python 3, sorry, Python 3. I'm kind of curious that Python 2, Bodo 3 will no longer support Python 3.7. Oh, well, I didn't print anything though. So let's go back to list models, and we can say results. Oops. Results equals, and then we can just say print result, right? So this is kind of just a hacky hello world Bedrock. There we go. Okay, so we got this. So this just shows us the models. Now the next thing that we would do is we want to do inference, really. We want to run an inference on a model. And this one shows how to generate text, explain black holes. Oh, I like this. This looks pretty good. So if we go through here and we just say gen hello inference .py, and we do the same thing, we can actually do set paste, throw this in, and we can see if we can get this cooking as well. Taking a little bit of time, which seems strange, unless I have something hanging. Let me look at the code real quick. It says invoke the model. Yeah, it should be pretty quick actually. So I'm not sure why this is. Oh, there we go. So it just took a little, maybe it needs to warm up, but yeah, there we go. Got it working. So I guess the next thing I would need to do is just check in some of this code. So if I typed in SSH keygen -t RSA, we can do that. I can cat this. I can grab this, and I'm going to go to my GitHub account and just get it cooking. So we'll go to my GitHub here, and let's log into settings, and we can go to SSH, add one, and we can say Cloud Shell. And then if I go, so I got to auth it, I guess. Well, it's possible that this won't work. I might have to use a password. Hopefully that worked. Okay, there we go. That worked. And then we can go to a Bedrock demo, live coding Bedrock. Take this repo, clone it. So we'll say git clone. There we go. So I've heard some people say you can't use this as a development environment, Cloud Shell, but you can. So because I just did it. So I'm gonna move these in these Python files into live coding Bedrock. I'm gonna cd into it, and we can say git status and git add. There we go. Adding Bedrock calls. So not bad. Okay, so I got something cooking. I can configure my config stuff here. Add here, we can add my name as well. get this cooking and push this. I think, let's see, get status. Oh no, get committed, get add, get commit, adding Bedrock, get push. And now if I go back to this repo, there's new code and it works. There we go. So not too bad, actually. So you can, if you just want to go very, very quickly here, just log into Bedrock if you have access to it. Take some of the example code like this, paste it in, and you'll be able to verify it. All right, that feels like a mission accomplished for today. I'll do the same thing next week. Talk to you later.